You think you know the 80s, right? The Brat Pack, the synth-pop, the neon glow of a John Hughes movie. It was all epic high school parties and heartfelt confessions in the rain. But what if I told you that you've been sold a nostalgic lie? That the decade you remember from the big screen has been sanitized and stripped of its most difficult truths? Well, forget the movies for a second. An author has launched an ambitious 9-book project, claiming to tell the real, unfiltered story of what it was like to be a teen in that decade. It's a controversial and immersive series written for adults that might just redefine how you remember the 1980s. For decades, our memory of the 80s has been handpicked for us by Hollywood. It's a highlight reel of quirky best friends and cartoonish bullies, where any problem could be solved with a slow clap. And while those stories are comforting, they aren't the whole story. They skip over the crushing boredom of suburbia, the real social anxieties, and all the awkward, messy parts of growing up that don't fit neatly into a 2-hour film. This is where author Chris Orcutt's series, Bodaciously True and Totally Awesome, comes in. He's calling it a teen epic, a new kind of literary genre designed to give adult readers an unvarnished look at the lives of 80s youth. This isn't young adult fiction. It's being presented as a time machine for the generation that actually lived it. So what makes this project so different? It starts with the author's pretty wild dedication. To write this 9-book series, Chris Orcutt says he spent over a decade living in a self-imposed 1980s bubble. He reportedly shunned the internet, wrote drafts on vintage typewriters and old-school computers, and only listened to music from the era, from a-ha to ZZ Top. This obsessive analog approach was his way of capturing the authentic mindset of the period, before the internet completely changed what it means to be a teenager. His commitment was so deep that his bio claims a cultural historian dubbed him the Lord of the 80s. The series centers on a high school sophomore named Avery Ace Craig in 1986, following him and his friends through the raw, complicated, and often thrilling reality of their lives. Unlike its movie counterparts, Bodaciously True doesn't shy away from the hard stuff. One of its most talked about and potentially controversial aspects is its candid treatment of teen sexuality, a topic Orcutt argues is often ignored in coming-of-age stories. But it's also a piece of living history. The narrative is woven into the fabric of the mid-80s, with major events like the Challenger disaster, the return of Halley's Comet, and President Reagan's Berlin Wall speech serving as the backdrop. The story aims to blend romance, adventure, and cultural history into something entirely new. What are your most authentic memories of the 80s that you never see in movies? The good, the bad, and the awkward, let me know in the comments below. This series is so ambitious that the author is hoping to create a new genre, the teen epic. Think of it like this. If most coming-of-age stories are a pop song, this is being positioned as a sprawling, multi-album rock opera. The 9 episodes, which are slated to be published over 2 years, starting in January 2026, are designed to create a deeply immersive experience. It's an odyssey written for adults who want to revisit their youth, but with the wisdom and perspective of today. The project promises to explore the inner worlds of teenagers with a seriousness that literature has rarely afforded them. By aiming to blend the scope of a classic novel with a cultural vibe of Fast Times at Ridgemont High, Orcutt has built a time machine on the page. So, while we'll always have the classic films, they are no longer the only story. Chris Orcutt's Bodaciously True and Totally Awesome is his attempt to create a monumental cultural corrective, a detailed, emotionally honest, and unflinching portrait of a decade we thought we knew. This series challenges not just the movies, but our own polished memories, asking us to look at a familiar time with completely fresh eyes. It's the unfiltered story of the 80s that, according to its author, has been waiting to be told. And if you want to keep exploring the hidden truths behind our favorite pop culture, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. You won't want to miss what we uncover next.